Scientists unite, tourists of a Vengi in this
Math
fight.
scientist.
Together we are gone.
Hello guys, welcome to new tutorial here DH5. Right. Now this is a tutorial on something known as ma function. In some languages, ma methods or ma functions or whatever you want to call them. Ngo what now. So what is a function in the first place? Now a function is just a block of code that maybe you want to call in multiple instances. You don't want to be, let's say it could be just a simple statement we were doing last time. Welcome. I might have a situation where in this I wanted to print welcome at the beginning of the day, or maybe welcome whenever someone comes in. Whenever someone comes in at the door, let's say maybe it's a facial recognition system. Writing welcome every time it takes a face. We wouldn't want the keep writing the same code, especially if the code becomes long, the code that it does whenever someone comes in. We wouldn't want to say every time someone comes in, then I keep having to write in the code welcome, welcome, welcome every time. Especially if the thing having to do with this we have to be big. For example, if when someone comes, if they have to do a certain procedure, maybe turn on everything and turn off everything. I wouldn't want to have to write code to turn everything off and turn everything on all over again every time someone comes in. So the point of functions if so basically a sequence of instructions that we can repetitively use just by calling the name of that function. So how do you define it? Basically, just as it is, we write if means define. We write a name for what we want to assign the function printer, and also you have to be careful in Python. Don't use what are called keywords. Don't use the words that are allocated to Python. For example, using the word print here would cause some errors when I want to run because there's already a function called print that is defined. So you should be careful not to use keywords when defining your functions. You should all variables. Kana to define a printer here, we can write what this is the indentation I was talking about in the other tutorial. Once you've indented, you just write what you want it. Let's say we want to print hello. So when I want the function to run, I just call the function's name and put in parentheses. Then I'll run my it's going to print hello. This is very simple, but in this situation, this doesn't seem very useful because I could just have easily have written print hello here. But why would I want to use it? But the reason why I think it should my function is they have something called my input. Now, an input is we want our function to behave differently depending on the type up. So we have to put in my values that is going to use when doing the. For example, if I wanted to print a number, for example, let's go back to the for loops we did last time. The simple for loop we did last time. We've already defined I equal to 0. Let's say I in range 10. Then draw a colon here. But I wanted to print the number that is I each time. So I'm going to say F. I've talked about this before. F, then put I inside. Then I'm going to put in an input. Then I'm going to say it's going to print in instead of just let's just leave it as I here. Is the best way to do this. Then put in the parentheses here and put in what is going on here. When when the for loop is running, each time it iterates, I is equal to I plus each time it iterates, it's going to call this function. Then put in the number that is on at that point. then this function is going to start running. It's going to realize that input go to the I at that time, then it's going to print what that I is. Now let's run this to see what we're talking. It goes I is equal to 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, until it gets to a number that is the largest number that is greater than, that is less than 10, I mean, it's going to print. So you can see that this is very useful. The combination is very useful. For example, if I want to do this 100 times, instead of having to print a number 100 times, print 0, print 1, print 2, print 3, 100 times, all I have to do is do this. Then in a couple of seconds, my code will be done. So that is basically the gist of, of, of function. Now, one more thing about functions is they have something called an output. This was the input. So an output is basically a value. I think it's the function actually when it's done doing what it's doing, it can return. It can give us what an answer to maybe a problem. So let's say in this same situation, we wanted to calculate. Let's say we wanted to calculate the second power of I, what I would. So let's say the output is equal to input times input. Like then below this, I'll say return out. Then I'm going to make some changes here. I'm going to say, let's say J equal to printer I. Then this block I want to write print A, like this. So what's going to happen here? In this situation, it's going to go just like it was doing last time. It's going to go I in range 100, but there is a difference here. J is being equated to printer I. Right? The I ananga apinda iri kunopinzwa as input kunoko, then achati output ari equal to I times I. Saka I kana ari equal to 0, that is 0 times 0, uyaona 0. Saka the first one ichabuda iri 0. Kana ari equal to 1, ichati 1 times 1, nobudisa 1, uyabuda iri 1, toprinta 1. Kusvika yasvika kunachi na 99 kwacho, yoti 99 times 99, tobudisa the answer yacho. Ichaita sei? Going to print all the second powers from 0 to 99. 0, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. So even though instead of writing code that will go on and say output go to 1 times 1, output go to 2 times 2 is equal to number chitaro forever. This is just a simple way to just call a function, and it will give us the answer for that particular problem. So we can maybe even just call this the square function. This is just finding the square of the input, giving back the output. Okay, so this is a basic code that will use functions, a combination of functions and for loop.